So recently, y'all, I slayed a dragon. It wasn't a fairy tale, though. Let me tell you what happened. So imagine me in a coffee shop relaxing. A woman walked up to me, similar build, cute fashion. In hindsight, she didn't ask me for the seat. She just put her hand on the chair across from me. And I mistook arrogance for curiosity. Some smirks really do be looking like smiles, and the stranger hadn't been that kind in a while. It threw me off. I was like, sure, why not? There were plenty of seats around. I didn't know why she wanted this particular spot. She sat and she asked me, so what do you do? I said, hi, how are you? I'm a poet. In fact, before you walked over, I was focused on this set I have tonight. I got a feature at this dope venue in the city. She said, oh, okay, how long you been doing poetry? I said, many years, more than 20. But when I caught her expression, my smile started to fade. She said, more than 2 decades and you still performing around the way? I at least thought you'd been in Germany or a national stage. My nostrils flared. I shifted in my seat. I adjusted my glasses. I said, what'd you say to me? She said, no, I'm just saying, more than 20 years should probably bring you fame. I said, well, the fact that I'm still in demand leaves me amazed. I'm grateful. I looked at sis again. There were no scales, no sharp talons, but it was a little smoke on her tongue. She was hateful. She said, how old are you? I took a long look around the room. I was hinting at sis to go on and move. Trying not to be rude, I said, I'm in my early 40s. She said, true. I don't see no ring. I said, no, baby girl, not yet. She said, so you ain't meet nobody who wanted to take you off the market? I said, well, of the few men that I dated, there was one that I thought I would be with for life, but it didn't work out that way. She said, oh, another independent woman who can't find her Mr. Right. I said, sis, you want to fight? But then she laughed at my offense. Instead of falling back, she leaned in. She said, you came in here by yourself. What, you ain't got no friends? At least tell me you got some kids. I said, I don't have time for this. My life is beautiful the way that it is. She said, oh, you one of them. I said, one of who, friend? She said, you're the type to meet a grim reality with toxic positivity. You sitting there like you never wanted to be mommy or wifey.